Hello, welcome to another episode of Momentum Movers. Hold on. As I was saying, welcome to another episode of Momentum Movers. This is Darnell Price. It's good to make a new video in the year of 2024. I think it's February 3rd now. We've had some ups and downs in the market since my last video. I'll go over what the title of this live stream is dedicated to. And that's basically, we'll get into this in a minute. I know I'm going with a live stream format this time, but basically I wanted to cover Topstep. And I feel that, and we'll get into, I guess we should start with what is Topstep. Give me a second. So Topstep is a funding company, right? They take traders who have the skills to trade, have experience trading. Even if you don't have experience trading, they have a pretty robust Discord community, and as well as they have coaches. They have a coaches library. It's jam packed with all, and we'll get into the community later as well. But basically, Topstep is a prop firm. They'll prop you up if you could pass their challenges. They basically would prop you up with 3 different account sizes: 50K, 100K, and 150K. And notice that it says buying power. It's not that they give you 150K and say go, but no, as far as the amount of size you could trade, 15 contracts when you consider the maintenance margin and the overnight margin for holding those contracts, it would take a sizable amount to do that. But basically they give you that buying power, and you could trade up to 15, 5, 10, or 15 contracts depending on the account size you take, and they give you a profit target that you have to hit. All right. And while you're hitting that profit target, they give you a maximum loss of, so like in this account, you have to hit 3K without going, down 2K, and that loss limit, it goes up with you. So if you make 1K, now, that 2K, it rises with you, and we could talk about that as well. But the same with the 100K account. You're going to be looking to make 6K without losing 3, and with a 150K account, you'll be looking to make 9 without losing 45. It's very straight through. There's one, I think it's even their motto, one step, one rule. Yeah. And it's pretty, there's other things built into it, and as far as risk management that you'll see along the way. But basically, if you have any technical analysis skills, if you're able to read a chart, I wouldn't say that you'll just do fine and it'll be easy. No, there's no guarantees in trading. However, they get, they lower the barrier of entry for trading, right? Without a prop firm like this, you would have to take, say, at minimum 5K and put it in a TD Ameritrade account or something like that. And you would be, if you don't do too well, you would lose 100% of that capital. Here, and if you pass this challenge with, before 30 days, you're only paying this fee once. But if, it takes you longer, you could do it as a subscription service. However, to lose 5K, it would take you 100 months in a 50K account, which that's about 10 years. Yeah, that's about 10 years, a little more than 10 years of trading to lose 5K, right? So, if you have a kid's college fund, or, I don't know, a large sum of money in savings, and you feel like, you're God's gift to trading and you want to go trade it, you don't have to be exposed to that level of risk to find out whether it would or would not work, right? You could come here to Topstep, give them $50. If you pass this combine, which, if you're going to do well, saying that you're going to make 3K is not a lot, right? If you have a decent sum of money, and you're planning on growing it in futures. Now, if you're investing, that might be a decent return, right? If you had 5K or 10K and you were looking for 3K in a short amount of time, that would be, factors of 10% more, growth on that, right? Like that would be, that'd be like 100%, like 50% growth on 66%. You're not looking to make 66% per year or per month on an investment, but on trading, something like that is what happens in day trades, and we'll get into that as well. Through the, like I say, I'm doing a live stream, and we're just going to go through what is Topstep, how to get funded with Topstep, and expectations after being funded with Topstep, and just my own personal journey with Topstep. What has happened with me. So, like, you take, say, this account, and you get these trading platforms that you could trade on. So it's not just theirs, but you could go with Tradeovate, Quant Tower, Ninja Trader. These are pretty prestigious trading platforms, and you also have your Sierra charts and all those, just your normal brokers. And you would, I don't know, I like Tradeovate because they integrate with trading view charts pretty well, and you would go here and go ahead and activate your combine. I'm not gonna do that right now because going into hope I didn't just get one of those, did I? No. Okay, yeah, so this is the current combine that I'm in. I guess that's a nice segue over into it. On this current one, I started it on the 31st. I think that was Wednesday or so. When was the 31st? Wednesday. And it's about $1,500 away from being funded, right? So it's a decent trajectory on getting this combine passed. If you look at the trades, I think the first day I was just trading light, made 400. I had $1,000 day and then a $3,000 day yesterday. All of that adds up to about 4,500, and we're trying to get to 6K. So hopefully Monday, we could squeeze 15K out. This will be a funded account. I have a funded account here that I got earlier. However, I wanted to be a bit conservative, so I made a couple $100 in this, and this is money that I could get a payout on, right? It's a past account, it's funded. I got this account on the 26th of January. So going into the end of last year, I had funded accounts, but I lost them, not trading good. So I had to go back through the funding process. I got this account funded. It's a 50K account. And here are the trades that it took me to get that funded account. Nothing in trading is easy. I won't say that it's easy. I'll never say that trading is easy. Hold on, it's not. I was trying to. Yeah, give me a second. But yeah, I won't say that trading is easy, but basically, I had a bad day, my second day in, I think we made 1K. We hit our loss limit of 1K, so it was, one step forward, one step back. But from there, it was straight to the. I think I made 50% of the way there and 50% there. So we got two $1,500 back-to-back days, giving us the 300 to pass it, and that's how I got this account funded. But like I was saying, I've been funded, a few times before, and this has become, since October, my my main source of income is payouts from these accounts. And that being said, I have February taken care of, and we had NFP last week, non-farm payrolls, and it's it's known to be a pretty volatile week in trading. So I didn't want to risk my one and only funded account on such a volatile week. I was just gonna sit on the sidelines. But however, me being a trader, I decided that it may be an opportune time to get a second funded account. That way, I would have a backstop if I lost that account. Plus, this account is a bit bigger than the first one, so my max drawdown will be a 2K per day instead of the 1K. And I'll also be able to trade up to 10 contracts. Now, normally I don't trade past 5 contracts. After that, the P&L swings get a little bit too heavy for my liking. I usually stop out around 4 or 5 contracts, but I have the option to trade 10. We'll see how that goes. Going, like I say, into February. Hopefully this coming Monday, I could make that little 1,500, and this will be a funded account as well. I made myself promise that I wouldn't trade my funded account until I got this account funded, and so we'll be trading too. I think going forward, my plan is to own this 50K account, just every day get my base hits right. Like, so if I could just get 300 to 500 a day on that account, not swinging for the fence, not trying to get any extravagant home run plays, I think that would go well to make sure the bills are paid, to make sure that I have, I think that amounts to, so 300 a day times 20 trading days is 6K a month, I want to say. Take half of that. Let's say, let's put like a 20% factor of safety on that. So, you might not, I mean, I feel I can, but let's say 6K, just take half of it, 3K a month. That'll take care of your bills. That'll take care of miscellaneous expenses and things like that. If I've been thinking that it's, you have to treat this, if this is going to be my full source of income, it has to be treated like a business, or like a regular job, right? If you're making $15 an hour for 40 hours a week, what you'd be looking at about 2K, I want to say, right? 2K, 1K a week. That's about $1,000 a week. I want to say, maybe my math is wrong on that, but let me see. Yeah, about 1,200 a week. Take taxes out, about 1K, so about 4K a month. That's what you'd be looking at. And so, $15 an hour, that used to be the dream, but now it feels like minimum wage. So at most, you want to make $3,000 to $4,000 a month, and that puts you at $1,000 a week, and $1,000 a week puts you at 200 a day, right? So that's why I say if you could make 3 to 5 a day, that would be a decent, and I understand the extrapolation fallacy. Like, you could just say, oh, I'm gonna do this. No, some days, you'll hit 100. Some days you might not trade. Some days you'll have 3K. What matters is, your average winning trades, how often you're right, and making sure you're losers are less than your winners, right? That's what matters with doing this. So um my average winning day, I don't want to know my average winning day, I just want to know my average day. Where is that at? And this is a small sample size, granted. I think I have others with bigger sample sizes, but basically I think it'd be here, average P&L. I don't want to go with this average P&L because I'm not, and that's what, and that gets me to my next point. So the first account, the one that's already funded, I won't be swinging for my average of 1,000 to 1,500. I'll be swinging for, like I say, $300 to $500, get the bills paid. On this account, when I get it funded, I'm comfortable feeling, coming out of the gate, New York open, you could come in with 500 to 700, and then, you might sit and watch it, and before the close, you might make another 500 to 700. You could comfortably, or with my strategy, I feel like it comfortably come around 1,000 to 15, and on good days, go for 3. If, as long as you're hitting your base hits, as long as you're not, the other account pays the bills, I'm not going to be worried about paying bills. This account, when you see a trade, and we'll go over trading and actual technical analysis, but when you see that trade, just having the comfort and being available and taking advantage of the opportunity to actually execute, right? You get your analysis in line, and then you need to be there. It's like fishing. You need to be there to you put the worm on the hook, you throw it out there, it's bait, and you got to sit there, and when it's time to snag it in and execute on that trade, you have to be there. So that's what the first account is buying me. Just making sure I could get 300 to 500 a day is buying me the clarity and the peace of mind to be able to sit there and execute on a bigger trade and not have the two conflated and mixed together, right? Like having one account where you say, yeah, I'm a pay my bills off of this, but at the same time you have that itch to swing for the fence, but you don't want to do it, you don't want to risk your living. So I thought to go ahead and segregate those two, and I might even get a third account just to have one on the back plate that's but that's what I plan on going to. This is going to be my strategy for 2023, and it would be smart because you can have up to 3 funded accounts at one time. Just have one that's not being traded at all on the back burner. In case you lose one, you'll have one to come over your shoulder. But when it's time to request a payout, you just go right here, you hit the payout request, and they have I don't know if I could go there without showing any of my personal information. I'll have to look to it. That might be a different video, but their payout policy is not bad. I might be able to find it here on the outside. Yeah, but if trading is something you're interested in, I definitely give them a look. Check out their website. The barrier to entry, like I say, is not expensive at all. They come with practice accounts, and you should just, if you have no experience day trading with technical analysis, there are a few channels that you could take a look at. One being, let me see, Trade Brigade. You could come here, check this guy out. He's pretty methodical, disciplined. He has live videos that he posts pre-market every morning. You could come there and check out, it'll put you in the right, it'll give you the framework, the mental framework to define market structure. That's basically, like, when you look at a price chart, it's pretty random and chaotic, right? When you look at just a bear chart, right, if you just take everything off and look at price, it's a bit chaotic. And what all trading is, all technical analysis is is building abstraction layers on top of seemingly random movements, not that I meant to, so that you could define structure and make sound decisions on where you want to limit your risk, right? Like, you're not just shorting, it's not going up and you're shorting. It's putting in a series of highs at one location, and you're saying, hey, I believe it's gonna go down. It can't break out. These wicks haven't went over this point here. I'm going to limit my risk to right here, meaning that if it goes above that, I'm out to short, but I want to take the opportunity to capitalize on this movement. And if, a move like this, which seems small, that, on two contracts, that's $3,250 on one contract. That's what, $1,700, something like that. It's small moves give you big money, right? And they even have minis, right? So we have mini NASDAQs. You don't, where, one of these is worth, one contract of NQ is worth $5 per penny. Minis are 50 cents per penny. So, there's ways to further limit your risks, right? And then going forward, I think if I don't really have a following. I think I'll put this video out there, add it to the collection. If I get a following, you watch this video, go ahead and reach out in the comments, reach out, in the places where you found the video, and, ask questions, and I could make more videos. I could answer, I could engage in the community. But yeah, Trade Brigade is a good source of the, the technical analysis. Also Topstep as well, right? Like every morning, usually after Matt from Trade Brigade, they have their morning lives that go, it's not a morning live, it's an all day stream, right? Where they talk technical analysis. That's actually the CEO of Topstep, right there. This is yesterday's video where this guy, he made, what I want to say, 10K on this stream right there at the end of it. He actually got the CEO in a trade, because Michael's an okay trader. It's not that good. He just finds good traders and prop them up. But he was underwater at the end of the day. He took this guy's advice, who was trading very risky. I never trade like he does, but he made 10K live. He got him, Michael, in the trade and brought him from negative to plus. I think he was like negative $1,100, brought him to plus 800. In a matter of 15 minutes. Like, so that's a $2,000 swing in 15-30 minutes, and it's not my trading style. I understand it, but that's the potential, just getting immersed in trading, getting immersed in technical analysis. There's also the Chart Guys. That's another organization. That's probably where I started years ago, is Chart Guys. If you just want to if you're very new and you just looking to get, this playlist right here will take you through the basics and give you enough information to be able to ask the right questions, right? And from there, once you learn this, you'll have a framework. You'll have the boilerplate to start building your own strategy, because that's what it's all about. There's a million strategies out there, and none of them are right, and all of them are right? Like, there's a million ways you could do, skin a cat. That's saying there's a million ways to see price and try to intuit direction from it. And all that matters is that you find the one way that speaks to you, right? And as long as, it don't matter if you're, throwing chicken bones in soup, if it tells you to buy and it gives you an edge in the market, that's what's important. right? And as long as you could, put a finite quantity on what your edge is, a, a win rate, as long as, your edge gives you a win rate and you could quantify what that win rate is, and you could manage your risk to where you make sure when you win, your wins are more than your losses. You don't have to win every time. You could win 40% of the time, but if your wins are bigger than your losses, you'll still come out as a profitable trader, right? So it's not so much the edge, right? You could get in on a coin flip, right? A coin flip is 50-50. But if your average winning trade, if you're leaving it on and coming out with 60% more than you're losing on a 50-50 chance, you'd still come out on top, right? So it's about having the math in your favor, right? If you look at my stats, it does, my average win rate is 9 minutes. I'm in a trade when I'm winning, it's 9 minutes. I have a problem holding on to losers and trying to let them come back. On this day I did good with it. It was 9 minutes and 5. On this day it was 10 and 26. On this day I don't think I had any losses. Okay. So that's Topstep for you. There's other prop firm companies. They're out there. I'm not, I found Topstep and I like them. They're pretty good. I've received payouts, and they have a great community. All right, so going back to the charts, where do I see us coming and going for the future? Like for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, we could talk charts for a little bit. We pushed all-time highs. I got a piece of that also. I think I made money long and short Friday. Not money because I wasn't trading my funded account, but as far as passing that combine, part of that 3K that I made, I traded both sides of the market yesterday. But going forward, I'm actually looking for us to sell off still. If we break these highs, then it's game on. We're at all-time highs. I'm always a contrarian. And according to my strategy, we're at a decent amount of resistance. So I'd be looking for us to have a slight pullback, maybe some sideways consolidation, end of day Monday, Tuesday morning. We might get a little pop, but overall, going, into the next week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I'd expect us to sell off. If we break down below, 17,700 on the futures. If we break down below, I don't want to come back above that area, because that's when I'd have to switch my bias to bullish, and we'd be taking. But as long as we find that as resistance and sell off, I'd be looking for us to take out the lows and repair some. There's a lot of thin structure below us from where we were ripping. Those are terms that come from market profile, just understanding what's going on and what's holding us up. There hasn't been that much two-sided trade since October. It's been one direction. If 2024 is going to be a great year, and especially considering how 2023 was, let me see if I could hide all again. When you consider how 2023 was, I think 2023 was also straight up. If you go to the beginning of 23, right here, we opened the year and we never looked below the lows set in on that first initial week, right? It was just straight up. We could have so here's 2024, and so far this year, I think we did have a few bad days at the beginning, carrying over from December. But we, have we put in the yearly low? Will we remain above 17,000? That's yet to be determined. Anything could happen. I could analyze it either way, All that matters is that I trade it right at the end of the day. So I mean, if we break these highs, I will have to go, you have to go with the majority on that. But as we've caught hesitation at these highs, and we have thin structure right here, the gap down and the gap up, there's a liquidity void right here. That needs to be filled in with some solid body candles in the least, let alone repairing, having some two-sided trade around in this thin structure from here. There's a lot of thin structure in the charts, right? Usually when you get thin structure like here, you put two-sided trade in after it, right? Like the market is efficient. It's a mechanism of efficiency, meaning that it doesn't like to just go in one direction. It likes to provide bids and offers to both sides, right? So we have buy side liquidity and a lot of it, but since October, there's been very little on the sell side. All dips have been bought, right? And so that's just an inefficient market when you look at it like that. It's not providing opportunities to both sides, and that's one characteristic that makes a great market, is that, like, and you may call it chop, right? But the market doesn't, when you get long expansions in one direction, you usually get violent retracements. And if you look from here to here, there's like a little space where it was inefficient, but we had this big run up, and we've had a run up. It'd be good for a pullback. That's basically, if you're bullish, you would want to start looking to buy around 16k, right? After you've had a slight pullback, test for support, and then you could go to all-time highs. Myself, I'd be looking a little lower, but that's just my thesis on it. It's not about being right or wrong, but you do have to develop a thesis on what you think, and you also have to know where your thesis would be wrong. And for me, that's a break of a highs. If we break these highs, then we'll have to keep going until it doesn't go anymore. I'm gonna keep this video short. It's my first live video of 2024. I basically just wanted to cover Topstep, and the opportunity that they offer. If there is anyone that that's under the sound of my voice that is familiar with technical analysis, and they would like to participate in the markets, but not have to risk as much capital as you would to just trade futures outright. A prop firm is an excellent opportunity to make the same money, right? They will pay you out for your first 10k. They take, you keep 100% of your first 10k, and then after that, any payouts they take, they keep 10% of it, and they pay you out 90%. So if you make 5k, what's that, 900 times 5, you'll take 45 and they'll keep 500, right? And that's reasonable. They have expenses. They have, they are a business. They get paid a lot of different ways. We'll get into that in future videos, but like I said, I just wanted to introduce it to anybody that was not familiar with it. It's not a scam. It's a great opportunity. I've been in it since, I think, September, maybe August, I don't know, but since October, it's been my source of income. I had a work from home job prior to that. It wasn't meeting my financial, it stopped paying the bills as well as Topstep did, and I felt like it was getting in the way of my trading, right? Because I was missing trades because of work, and the work that I was doing was not decent compensation for me missing out on trades. So I left it alone, and I said I was gonna try full-time trading. It's been a bumpy road. I've had ups and downs with it, with trade, and that's why going into 2024 I felt the need to organize it the way that I am now. And we'll see how it goes, right? Yeah. Anyway, trade well, trade smart, trade on, and have a good one. Max Payne out. Darnell Price out.